BlueNote Fan Report. Wow, I just saw 22 people were watching me, and then as soon as I go on, it drops to 11. Wow, I lost half my audience like that. Oh my goodness! Wow, was that fast? I think the majority of my loss was on Twitter. Okay, that's fair. You can go away on Twitter. Bye, Twitter. Bye. Look, guys, how you doing, man? Um, I've had a rough day, man. I really have. I've dealt with this. I've talked about this. I deal with PTSD. I talk about it a lot. And this morning at 5:30, somebody very close to here decided to shoot off a bunch of firecrackers, and they sounded like, you know, weapons, and that got on me a little bit. And um then some, the rain, and I'm like, I don't like the rain. I'm not very good in the rain, and I had to deal with the rain, and that bothered me a lot. Wow, on the Ashley's account, 9 people are watching on Ashley's account. Wow, go Ashley, go. Man, hers is just jumping up. Mine's like 0, and hers is woohoo. Yeah, it won't last. But hey, if you're here, say hi. This is Guy, the White Blues fan. This is the BlueNote Fan Report, show by a fan, for a fan, and about you, the fan. I thought I'd come on today, and I really want to talk about something that I consider important. That to me has some importance to it, and it's something that I think people should pay attention to. Right? Do you know? There's an old saying out there that you can't see the forest for the trees, right? Everybody knows what that means. That there's so much little stuff that you can't see the big picture. When it comes to the blues, it's the exact opposite. You can't see the trees because of the forest, right? And I hear it so much. Absolutely hear it so much with everything that's going on, and with the take. I hear Armstrong gets blamed for every single contract we have and every player that's not re-signed with this team. That's not a fair assessment. That's not a fair assessment at all. In fact, that's like the most junked up assessment I could think of, right? If you're saying that, if you're out there saying that there we go, it's a little better. If you're out there saying that Armstrong is to blame because we've lost all these players, then you don't understand the modern game. And I'm sorry if that offends you. I really, really am. I really apologize if that offends you. But when you get down to it, you cannot sit there and say, well, we've lost all these players and that's Armstrong's fault. All right? Craig Moss, my friend, my buddy, my pal, he listed, and I'm just using this because it's something that points out my example, works in my favor. He listed we lost 3 goalies in 2 years. I have to go back to double check that because I don't think that that's actually a true statement. I'm going to look at something here real quick, right? But he made a statement that we've lost these 3 goalies in 2 years. And I'm going to go back 22. So to me, he's starting at the 21-22 season. Now, maybe he's starting a little bit before that. But if I go to the 21-22 season, right? Okay, no, he's got me. They list Lindgren. Okay. I guess Lindgren did play some games during that period. Actually, so they have Bennington, Gillis. I don't think Gillis might still be with us. I'm not sure. No, Gillis is gone, isn't he? So actually, it's more than he's Gillis, Husso, and Lindgren. Yeah, that's who he's listed. Gillis, Husso, and Lindgren. Actually, no. So it's 4 goalies. I don't think John Gillis is still with us. Right? I think Gillis is not. Yeah, he's with Columbus. So you could add Gillis. So actually, it's 4 goalies in his mind. However, hi Gloria, hi Jason. However, let's go back and analyze those goalies that we've lost. Husso had 1 good season. 1. Right? And that was the 21-22 season. At the end of that season, he was a free agent. We had Hoffer in the mix, and Hoffer was starting to show signs of being that guy. Okay. If you have a guy ready to come up, especially in goaltending, right? You have a guy ready to come up, but you don't have room for him. What do? You either trade him or you make room. Well, Armstrong chose to make room. Now Hoffer could have left as a straight free agent. He convinced the Detroit Red Wings to give up a 3rd-round pick to negotiate early for the rights to negotiate with Husso or Hoffer Husso early instead of waiting until he hit the open market. I'd rather credit Armstrong for that. Because when you go look at things, 3rd-round guys are NHL players. 4th round and beyond are the ones that almost never play in the NHL. Interesting fact. Right? Lindgren is nothing more than a backup. I mean, he might be doing okay and worse, but he's not. He's Gillis. Gillis isn't even on the Columbus Blue Jacket roster, and they have horrible goaltending. I know Gillis is on my fantasy team. Right? So when you look at that, when you go, okay, these are the goalies, the 4 goalies that we've lost. And then Grice retired. You weren't going to re-sign him anyways because he was just a stopgap measure to Husso. Right? Or not Husso, Hoffer. He was just a stopgap to Hoffer. That's all he was. You can sit there and go, I think Armstrong handled the goaltending situation pretty good. Oh, Jason Nichols put a thumb in the air. Thank you, Jason. Oh, wow. I guess when I first come on, I get a big jump from Twitter, but it doesn't hold. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You hope. You hope. But hey. And we are on Instagram now. That is the new one. We are on Instagram. Don't forget that. You can check us out on Instagram too, and you can comment on Instagram, but I may not see it right away. You got to wait until I get there because Instagram doesn't show up here yet. Got a couple more. Jason McMillan, John Penner, thank you for listening and paying attention to us. So when you spread that out and go, oh my goodness, we're actually in a better situation now than we were then. How can you? I mean, it's hard to put that. You have to temper that statement a little. Well, we've lost 4 goalies in the last 2 years. Hold on. Let's look at that. Have we really lost 4 goalies in the last 2 years, or have we gotten better in the position? I would argue that we are better at goalie now than we were 2 years ago. I hope Craig watches this later. I hope or maybe someone will send to him and he'll watch this later. Because we're trying to work something out so me and Craig can do a show together. Thank you for watching on Twitter, our X. X marks the spot. We appreciate it. Thank you. Charles Jenkins. Jenkins, do you actually watch the show, or you just put the little thumbs up when you see it on your Facebook thing? I think that's what he does. Never seen him comment. My buddy Russ Tidland, and I normally don't say names, but I know Russ, and Russ has been on the show or been with the show for a while. And Russ had, Kyrou was banging on Kyrou a little bit. And I kind of said something to him. And I said, wait a minute, Kyrou's never been the problem. He never was the problem. I'm trying to see where that Russ. I want to see if I can find where he commented earlier today. Give me a moment as I'm looking to see if I can find this. Why can't I find? Sorry. I don't know if it was on me or on something else. I put the post out today that I might do a show, and I think I saw it on that. No, I'm not seeing it. Okay, well, maybe if he shows up, he can. Oh, maybe let me take one look. One look at where I think it might be. Oh, here it is. Yay, it is here. Okay. So Russ said, let's okay, so I said let's talk about Kyrou, and he said, let's see if he's consistent for a week, and then I will pass judgment. And my response to him was, Kyrou never was the issue. Listen to what I have to say tonight, and this is kind of what I'm going on. And then he responds, I know there were other issues as well, but I got it. But I get it. After signing the deal he did, you would think that he could have been more. There could have been more effort. He led the team in points last season. But Berube was the easier and the more practical decision. No. Finally, let's go Blues, and your shows are awesome, insightful, and are great. And I appreciate that final comment. But what his statement right there is what I'm getting at. His statement right there should have been more effort from Kyrou. Dude led the team in points last season, and everybody complained about his defense. So now he goes and he tries to play defense this season, and everybody complains about his offense. I tried to make this point. Stephen Glass said when we signed him to that it did not matter whether the backup was Husso or Hoffer. That's true. Absolutely true. And I don't have a problem with that. I just think that we're better off with Hoffer than Husso. E says, let's go Blues. Chris Shockey says, so you think Vlad went to the office this morning and said, if you even think about him, trade. Well, you know what? I was talking about this weekend to somebody. And I go, wow, man. He plays us on Thursday. Thursday night, the decision is made to let Berube go. Friday, he has a personal matter that he has to attend to, and he's not with the team. and he's up to today, he's still not with the team. I wonder. I honestly wonder. I mean, I don't have any indication, but the wheels have been turning in my head. God, wouldn't it be great? Think about this right now. I could see a trade. Tarasenko for Varna, straight up. Varna. That's how you guys want me to say it. Varna. I think it's Varna. I think it's 2 syllables, not 3, but I'll go with that. I'll go with your guys, Varana. Varana as salary is at 2.5 million. Tarasenko's is 5. If we could get Ottawa to eat half his salary, they're evened up. They're evened up, and we have the room now to bring him back for the rest of the season. Oh, could you imagine putting him in our lineup with this new offensive system that we seem to have? Kyrou will get his points. I agree with that. Hofer and Husso are the same. Hofer might have more of an upside. He's got a lot more of an upside. And he's younger. He's a lot younger. That's the upside. And he doesn't cost $5 million. Hofer's $1 million guy. Husso is a $5 million guy. If they're the same player, who would you rather have? Right? That's the point. This is the thing that I'm asking Blues fans to do. To look beyond the forest and see the individual trees. Because if you look beyond the forest and you start seeing some of the individual trees, a lot of things start to make sense. And a lot more than you think. I mean, a lot more than you think. David Asay. True, especially since they're already paying Bennington $6. Bennington $6 million doesn't bother me. I will never complain about what a player's getting paid. I won't. They've earned it. They've earned it. Right? Plain and simple. Their careers are very, very short. They don't have, how many of them have 20-year careers? They don't. They don't. Okay? And that's something that's important to me. Get that money. And not only that, I mean, how many of these guys go bankrupt after? I don't think he does. I don't think he does. No, you can't pay 2 goalies that. That's true. You can't put $11 million in goaltending. I think so. So to me, no more than 10%. Check your volume. It's on you, E. Everybody else can hear me. Right? But I don't think that he needs that even from his teammates. I think he knows his teammates got his back, and no one's this NHL doesn't. That enforcer guy isn't worth the money that you have to pay him in some cases. Look at the guy that everybody loves up there in Toronto, Ryan Reeves. They are upset. Toronto fans, the most fanatical base. Absolutely, completely. No. We overpaid him. Why did we pay him this? That's something to think about, guys. That is absolutely something to think about. I think that we've got guys that can play physical enough that we don't need an enforcer just to get on the ice to go after somebody. I don't think we need that. Hell, if we do need it, Shin will do it. Now, I don't like my captain doing it, but he'll do it. He'll absolutely get out there and do it. All I'm asking is that we start seeing the trees. Stop looking at the forest and start seeing the trees. There's a couple other guys that follow me regularly, maybe not watch the show, but they're friends of mine. They follow me, and they are absolutely hell-bent on blaming Armstrong. This is all Armstrong's fault. Armstrong did this. The no trade clauses, this, that, and the other thing. I bring up no trade clauses sometimes when you say trade a player, trade this guy, trade that guy, and I say, you can't do that because of the no trade. That's not a true statement, right? The no trade makes it harder, but it doesn't mean that they can't be traded. And I'll tell you what, those guys' contracts have some to do with why they can't be traded, but they're not the main reason. I brought this up on Saturday. I brought this up on Saturday. Why? What is the biggest thing affecting rosters today? What is the reason that you cannot trade any of our defense? I brought this up on Saturday, so I'm sure somebody that watched Saturday is going to remember this. He remembers it. The salary cap. Exactly. All of these contracts that we signed were signed, for the most part, were signed in a period where the salary cap should have increased should be about $10 to $15 million more than it is now. Let me repeat that. The salary cap right now should be $10 to $15 more than what it is. That has more to do with why guys can't be traded. If the cap goes up, they expected $5 million next year, and we continue to play the way we have been playing, one of those four salaries would have been gone. Right? I guarantee it. Dollar for dollar. Exactly right. That's why I'm bringing up the Tarasenko-Varana thing. You know what? This bothered me. Hold on a second. Hold on. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. At least I'm not about to whip somebody's ass, right? He's got a low number. Oh, wow. He's not even on the roster right now. Damn it. Hold on. I got to click in the system. There we go. Go back. Come on, guy. Do it right. Wrong one. See, I think I'm saying it right. I really do. It's 2 syllables, not 3. So I want to know if you guys can hear this. Vrana. 2 syllables. Vrana. I'm hearing 2 syllables. Are you guys hearing? Do you guys hear 3? Or do you hear 2? I hear 2 syllables. Vrana. Just like I've been saying it. Not Varana. Not Varana. Varna. 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 I hear 2 syllables. Varna. Yeah, I'm hearing 2 syllables. Right? I think I clicked on his name, so maybe it's got the pronunciation. No, it doesn't. That's how I'm hearing it. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be. But that's how I'm hearing it. Right? Okay. Hey Wayne, how you doing, sir? Thank you. Oh, you know what? Well, you guys weren't hearing it. Here we go.
Jacob Vrana. Jacob Vrana. Jacob Vrana. Jacob Vrana. Jacob Vrana. Jacob Vrana. Jacob Vrana.
I hear 2 syllables. You guys couldn't hear that before because I didn't put it on. Right? Who's here? Come on, man. Don't be shy. Talk. Talk, 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 talk to me. Right? I mean, if you're on Twitter, I can hear you on Twitter. I can see your comments for a change. But that's the NHL telling you how it's supposed to sound. This is the NHL. Look where I'm at. Can you see this up here? Media.com. That's what this is. That's the media website. Right? You see that? That's the media website that I'm showing. The media website. And I'm getting this
Jacob Vrana.
From the media website. And that's how I feel like I'm saying it. Maybe I'm not, but that's how I feel like I'm saying it. Okay. Enough on that one. But that's why I bring this up. Right now, so let me pull up Cat Friendly. Where we're at on Cat Friendly. No. The Blues are 660,000 under the cap. Actually got about $1 million in cap space. When you send 1 or 2 players down, that frees up that extra space to bring a 2.5 million player back. Right? That's the thing. And that's about what I think that his cap hit for the Blues is about 2.5. He's in the minors right now, so not on the roster. I got to pull it up. His cap hit for the Blues is 2.65. So anybody that's right around $1 million, right? They could send down and free up that room. Right? McCackern 775, McGing 775. You send one, or actually you send one of those guys down, maybe 2. You only have 7 defensemen now, so I don't see sending a defenseman down. but I think you're high. You have 2 extra forwards. You could send one of your 2 forwards down. You could send 2 forwards down, right? And still have room to put him in there. Bring Alexandrov in and out, and that gives you the money. That gives you the money. The money is there. Neither McGing or McCachran is going to get picked up off of waivers. I'd almost guarantee it. Neither one of them. So that's kind of where I'm at on this situation, right? I will try and do that more. I will try and do that more. And that might be true. That might be true, Ash. That might be true. Oh man, Jason, where are you going? Oh, I want Blues fans to take a step back. That's all I'm asking. I want Blues fans to take a step back and really start looking at the trees, because they're not. They're seeing the forest. And in seeing the forest, Berube did no wrong. Right? None of this is on Berube. Look at the players that we lost last year. I think we lost, 5 players, maybe more? Let me see here. Let me do something here real quick. I'm going to look at last year's roster and who's not on us from last year's roster. Right? So Akari's gone. Barbashev is gone. Will Bitton is in the minors, so he's still here. Blaze was brought in. Bortuzzo was brought in this season. Logan Brown was let go. Grice retired. Highmore went to the minors and then was let go. He was let go in the minors. He wasn't re-signed in the minors. I'm not sure where he's at now. I don't think he's in the minor league team. He might not be. Hoffer's here. Kaepernet's here. Kessel's in the minors. Letty's here. Josh Levig, I don't know if he's still here or not. McGing is still here. Mikola was traded. He's now not. And here's the other thing. Of all of the 5 players that we traded, only one stayed with the team we traded him to. Neighbors is here. O'Reilly we traded to Toronto. Pareko. Pitlick. I'm not sure what happened with Tyler Pitlick. I may have to look that up. Callie Rosen, I think, went down to the minors. Saad is here. Surmakov went back to the minors and we released him. Santini may have been released through the minors. Scandella, Shen, Terashenko traded. Thomas, Torpachenko, Tucker, Varna. There we go. I'm saying the na now instead of an Varna. And Nathan Walker. Walker's in the minors. Really? When you look at that, what did we really lose? Right? We lost 3 players from that. 3 significant players from that. Barbashev, Terashenko, and O'Reilly. And then when you look at Mikola and Akari, they're on different teams and then thriving on their new teams. Why? Why do they go to new teams and are they thriving? That question hasn't been asked at all by anybody. Right? Kind of reminds me of the Hoffman. Yeah. Robert, it's exactly what I've been talking about. I had a feeling when the waving of him had a lot to do with what ended up happening. I made in the TikTok that I did the other day. I didn't want to do one today. I will get to Kyrou a little bit more later. I think it might be right. Like Hoffman and Rana, even Tarasenko. Oh, Tarasenko to a huge point, right? All he ever talked about Tarasenko and Kyrou and Hoffman was they didn't play good enough defensively. Now, let's talk about that real quick. I used an analogy in my TikTok, and I don't know how good of an analogy it is. I think I went too much to the extreme. But you have a construction crew, right? And on this crew, you have painters and you have some welders, right? Or framers. Let's know. You have painters and you have framers, right? You have a guy that is an absolute amazing painter. He will get the job done in half the time, and it looks twice as good. I mean, that's how good this guy is. But the problem is the framers can't keep, because he's so good, framers can't get it done enough to put him, to give him the work he needs. So what you decide to do is to make him a framer also. So you can get caught up and then he can go and paint. Problem is, this guy's not a framer. You're trying to teach him how to frame, and he's not as good at it. He's going to make mistakes. And in trying to make him a framer, you're actually slowing your job up. Because he doesn't do it as well. He's not, so you're actually, by trying to make things better, you're hurting the overall. Wow, I think that's the best I've ever said that. I think that makes more sense to me saying it that way than it ever has. I really think that that's the issue that everybody's missed. The last two games, Kyrou has absolutely shined. And he has. He's got, 4 points in 2 games. He's got, 2 goals? Or a goal and a goal and 3 assists. He should have had 10 shots. He should have got credited for a shot, but he didn't. He should have got credited for a shot. But he set up the game-winning goal. Yet what everyone wants to look at is always giveaways. His giveaways. A little late. Dude. Offensive players need to play in the offensive zone to be successful. I agree. I'm of the belief that a good offense will make your defense look better. I've been saying that for a long time, Robert, a long time. By the way, I know he's not here, but hopefully maybe he'll watch later. Robert Morton, please tell my little boy Chase happy birthday. Today's his 4th birthday. Happy birthday, Chaser. We love you, buddy. I'm in the belief that it makes your defense look better. It's the reason teams are drafting smaller mobile defensemen like McCarr, Fox, and Hughes. The first 3 defensemen taken in this year's draft were all 6-footers. Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't a goal scorer. I don't know how to coach them. Well, then, and that's the thing that got missed, right? Craig Berube, and even Doug Armstrong said this. I gave him the rope. I gave him enough rope. He needed to understand the problem, and he didn't understand the problem. And the problem isn't that we weren't tough enough. Oh my goodness, that's not the problem. Oh, for all the Blues fans that sit there and say that we have pansies and pussies and all these other things that they say about our players, oh my goodness, are you missing it? No, that's not it. I agree too. You're preaching to the choir here. I've been saying that for a while, Robert. I don't know how long you've been watching me, Robert, because I don't remember, but I've been saying that for a while. I have people here that will tell you that. I started preaching that last season. Guido, Robert Murray, Rain Horder, David A.C., Charles Jenkins, Jason McMillan, John Penner, and Jason Nichols. Thank you. Thank you. Really, what a lot of this comes down to, you want to blame Armstrong, fine. Blame Armstrong, because that's the hip thing to do. Now, the one subject that I wanted to talk about that I haven't talked about, I really want to talk about Kyrou. And I want to talk about this no comment. I finally saw somebody out there, and I'm going to mention a site that hates me. St. Louis Blues Hockey Memes, the owner of that hates me with a passion, has me blocked. I'm surprised they even allow me to follow the page. Absolutely allowed me to follow the page. I took that with a grain of salt. I think a lot of people jumped on that, not understanding how he said that. I took that to mean he should have fired him last year when things went wrong then. That's what I took that to mean. And I've heard a lot of people, well, he said that we're just going to compete for a playoff spot. He's saying that because the team got dismantled last year, and it got dismantled last year because the coach didn't know what he was doing. Right? That's how I took that. That's how I take it. Now I lost. Okay, what was I talking about? Kyrou. Right? St. Louis Blues Hockey Memes finally went out there and said, you know, everybody's mad at Kyrou and this, but the person you should really be mad at is Rutherford. And I absolutely agree with that. Rutherford should have gotten called out. If I was Jordan Kyrou, I would not answer another question that he asked me. And in fact, in my phone, I would block him. Because he set you up. Rutherford's been doing this for over 20 years, probably longer than Kyrou's been alive. There's a good chance he's been doing this longer than Kyrou's been alive. And he asked Kyrou that question. Why did he ask Kyrou that question? How was your relationship with Craig Berube? That question right there. And then the fact that he tweeted it as soon as he got an answer. He asked it before a game when the guy was focused on the game, and then tweeted it immediately. He was trying to incite something. He wrote an article saying Armstrong was wrong for firing Berube, and then he goes and asks that question. Dude, you had an agenda. I just said that. Yep. He had an agenda. Right? I don't think they are anymore. I think he lost. I think he lost some of that. I really do. I get it. Yeah, I agree, Robert. I absolutely agree. I've been saying that. I've been saying that. Now, the only reason I haven't called him out like on Twitter or that is because I still have some hope that he will come on this show. Though I've tried to reach out to him and send him emails and got no response back. I might try it again, but I'm not holding my breath anymore. Tomorrow's going to be tough one to discuss. Well, Tampa Bay's in kind of a predicament, and their goalie hasn't been great. If we play our offense, it's going to be a low-scoring game, right? People forget that Armstrong and Zadudu actually built the cup-winning team and hired Berube in the first. Exactly. We give Blues fans have given Berube a pass immediately, right? And they want to sit there. First it was, oh my God, Bennington's great. He won us the cup. Bennington's great. He won us the cup. Until Bennington struggled. Fucking trade Bennington. Trade Bennington right now. Oh no, it wasn't Bennington that brought us the cup. It was Berube. Berube brought us the cup. Bennington was just put there. He was just there. He sucks now. He's a horrible goalie. Get rid of him right now. Berube's the greatest coach ever. He's better than all his other coaches because he won a cup. All those other coaches have won multiple cups. And I have to sit there and take a step back. Right? I was bringing this up. I actually brought this up with my therapist today. Right? Everybody, when it comes to sports, people are fanatical. That's where the word fan comes from. Right? And they, for the most part, see the forest, but they absolutely don't see the trees. Right? They see the forest and they do not in any way, shape, or form see the trees. Right? They're not the current champs though, and we beat the current champs, so I wouldn't worry about them as much. The Florida, the second game against Florida, that's the one I worry about more than the Tampa Bay game. But you do need 3 out of 4 points here. Looks like let me double check something here real quick. Out of town scoreboard real quick. Ducks are up on the Red Wings 4-1. The Penguins, who are in a free fall, are beating the Wild 3-0. Stars are up 1-0 on the Kraken. Way to go, Wedgwood. Canadians and Jets are scoreless at the end of one. Later tonight, the Panthers, who we face here soon, are playing the Calgary Flames. Tampa's had a couple of days off. I'm trying to look when they last played. I think they last played when we did. They last lost to the Flames in Calgary 4-2 while we were beating Dallas in St. Louis. So that's something to look forward to tomorrow. Early game tomorrow, too. 6 o'clock Central game. So I'll be on at 1:30 my time, which is 6:30 your time. or pardon me, 5:30 your time. Well, you know what? More people. I know for the most part. Right. I like the team. I agree. My friend. Um, Bowman, Quinville, Hitchcock. I'm sure. Well, Hitchcock only won one cup. I know that. Uh, um, Florida's having some issues too. Yeah. Hey, Chris. We did think the Stars game was going to be low scoring. I did. It did surprise me a little bit. It was a little higher than I thought. It should have ended 3-2. To be in all honesty, a deflected puck took it to overtime. But hey, it is what it is. That's the only a deflected puck is what kept it from being a low scoring game. 3-2 to me is low scoring. Wow. Guys having fun today? Are you joining the show? Let me know if you're joining the show. No new likes. Come on, where's the love? Where's the love tonight? Where's the love tonight? Stephen Glass gave a thumbs up. No Chris Shockey, no Aaron Coulter. I think Robert Murray's already on there. Jason Nichols is on there. Let's see if anybody else I can call out. Who else can I call out? Steven saved himself. Wayne Harder. I think I could call him out. I think he's missing. So, nope, Wayne's there. Eric Coulter goes, I'm not getting called out. Oh my goodness, this is fun. This is fun. I'm enjoying myself tonight, man. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me tonight. I had a rough day, having a rough day, and having this as an outlet tonight really, really helps. You guys are great. You help me and you listen, and I appreciate that. These fans, for God's sake, this sport is hard to win at. I agree. One night your lights out, the next you can't get up for it because the other team is able to impose their will. You don't bring your A game, you lose. Simple as that. I agree. No problem. Yeah. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Jason. Robert, it's simply this. Be smart. Sometimes you can step too far back. What's happening now with the majority of Blues fans, they're wearing Berube colored glasses and they're looking at everything from 10,000 feet. And when you look at everything, well, first of all, when you wear Berube colored glasses, Katrina, we miss you. Oh my goodness! When a couple of years ago, when I started doing live, Katrina was one of those that was on with me. Katrina, we miss you. You are missed on this show. I don't know if you still follow the Blues or you pay attention, but we miss you. Just want you to know that. Thank you. Well, you're welcome to come back. All you got to do is let me know. Send me a message. You can come back anytime. Anytime. Well, if you need help with something, hit me up. I will always be a friend to you. That's who I am. I think you know that. So you're there. Well, just let me know. Okay? Absolutely. For tomorrow's game, if you can come, absolutely. Or one of the holiday games. Maybe you can come on for my birthday game, the 30th. We'd love to have you back, Katrina. Absolutely would love to have you back. So what I was saying before Katrina took my attention away See, is that I can or I can't? Oh, yes, I can. Yay! Blues fans are looking at everything from a 10,000-foot venue and with Berube colored glasses on. And because they're doing that, they don't see all of the other stuff that's happening around. Katrina was on my girls' night. When we had ladies' night, Katrina was one of my ladies' nighters. I remember that. You don't see all the other stuff around. When you get down and you start looking at the individual trees, when did the trouble start? Now I know. I have it in my eyes. Oh, I got called out yesterday because I don't have any sources. Or because I don't tell my sources. I'm not going to tell my sources. If you want to act like I don't have sources, that's fine. You absolutely. But prove me wrong. That's all I ask. Prove me wrong. Now, hey, Robert, are you on? Have you followed the Hawaii STL Blues Fan Clan? That group? Check out that group, bud. That's my group. If you try and join, I'll know your name and I'll let you in right away. Right? You've got when do you guys think the trouble started? When do you think the trouble started? I don't know how many people are going to get this answer right, or at least see where I'm seeing, at least my view, but I want to know. I'm in an hour and I'm going to stay on. I'm going to at least stay on another half hour. All right, I think I can stay on another half hour. There's still enough. There's 13 people here, somewhat, kind of. Well, really, it's 11, but I'll take the number 13. So when did the issue start? That's the first thing you have to do in this. You have to go back and look, when did the issue start? Because it's very important. No, Dave Gillis, welcome to the show. It started before that, way before that. Well, I'm in the bubble, Kyrou. Yes, bubble. Nope, before that. Before that. No, not when Berube got hired, because he did well for 2 years, for 2 seasons. It's in that period. You're right, Robert. It's in that period. Something happened in the bubble, and I have an idea what. I am not at liberty to say, and I mean that. I have only told about 3 people what I know about what happened in the bubble. And I'm leaving it at that. You do not press me, do not ask. But I know that something happened in the bubble. And it lingered. Now, it was actually brewing before that. Right? You're very close. You're right. In the bubble. That's where it was bubbling before that, but this is when it starts, the paint starts peeling. The rust was there, the paint starts peeling in the bubble. No, Jason, don't go there. There's something there's a lot of things that you don't know about the bubble. It's a lot of things a lot of people don't know about the bubble. Right? No, Robert. Let's go back. This has got to go back. Let's go back to 2019-20. Right? There was, first of all, this happened before the bubble, but it's in the bubble that things get bad. What do you guys remember from 1920? There was one particular thing going on during that season that everybody was talking about. And the way it turned out, a lot of people blame Arm Armstrong. I don't think it's there as much as everyone agrees it thinks it is. Right? Just bear with me. Oh, Katrina, you are right. Petrangelo. Right? No, Ari passed way long before this. Petrangelo went to the team prior to the trade deadline. Right? Prior to the trade deadline, and said, I plan on signing here. Please don't trade me. He had a modified, he did not have a full no trade at that point. Usually in the last year or so, they get modifieds. And I know Tarasenko didn't have one, but I'm pretty sure Petrangelo had one, or they were coming to him asking about the potential of trading him. I know everybody wanted him traded, so we didn't lose him for nothing. Right after COVID hits, there's some text conversations that go on, and the media starts talking to Petrangelo about what he wants to stay. And he even started bringing this up before COVID hits. After the trade deadline, all of a sudden, no movement clause. You never heard about that no movement clause until after the trade deadline. Not before the season, none of that. You didn't hear a word about a no movement clause until after the trade deadline. I'm almost dead certain on that. That no movement clause forced Armstrong's hand. Why would you say something like that if you know a GM will not give you one? Anybody? Why would you ask for something knowing that the chances of getting it were slim to none? I got two things on there. Noddy got cocky. It's something else. And it makes a lot of sense. It'll make a ton of sense once I say it. It's one word. If I say this one word, it will make all the sense in the world. Right? Are you ready? Here's the word. Triplets. He had 3 1-year-old, 2-year-olds, and his wife was pregnant with another. This was after she went through fertility treatments because they had trouble getting pregnant. Remember, there was an issue that came out about that. He put out his wife, even being a St. Louis lady, did not want him to get traded in the middle of the season with him having triplets and her being pregnant. She didn't want to stay in St. Louis. She did not want to stay in St. Louis, right? Did not want to stay in St. Louis at all. And he did everything he could to make it look like he did. Right? And well, he did want stability, but not. He could have gotten stability without a no movement clause. Well, you know what? I don't blame her. I honestly don't blame her. I don't. You know what? When you get married, when you have a job that forces you to move around, being in the military, I got forced to move around. I had to move my kids and change schools. It was very hard on them. I get it. I moved when my kids were really young. First time I moved after my kids were born, they were 3 and 2 years old. Moved from Chicago to Japan. That's a huge move. And I got underway shortly after, within weeks of me being on my new ship. I was put on a deployment, an emergency deployment. He was given a modified no movement clause and didn't want to stay. Right? Well, see, he's not the only one that did this. He's not the only one that did this. Perron did the same thing. He put it on Army when it was on him. I know I'm going to get hate for that. I absolutely know I'm going to get hate for that. Thank you. She is also a St. Louis girl and found a way out. Yeah. I don't think he did. I really don't. I agree. And I think that he did that. Right? And it's hard, bud. It's hard. I know it is. My kids dealt with it. They didn't move 8 times. I know that. Pittsburgh just scored again on Minnesota. That's good for us. Oh, wow. That game has changed. It's I don't know if it's 4-3 or 5-3. It might be 4-3 now. Well, it was 3-0. Minnesota's had a good second. Oh, it's in the third now. They've had a good third period, I think. Let me look at this real quick. Game summary, get this up. Yeah, or in the second. Oh man, since we came on the show, Minnesota had a really good second period. Right? Scored 3 unanswered goals. Pittsburgh just made it 4-3. Right? There we go. Back to that. Where are we at here? Guy's not as dumb as people say he is, and Guy understands things a lot more than people think he does. Who made the poor business team choices, Berube or Army? That's a fair, genuine question. However, that's a loaded question. Right? That's a loaded question. And I'm not pointing you out for the question being loaded. I'm not, Katrina. But it's a loaded question because when you talk about business decisions are on Army. However, Army's hand, in my opinion, was forced because of choices and things that Berube did. I think Berube drove a lot of players away from this team. Caveman coaches tend to do that. And we've had our share of caveman coaches. Number one, who's the most caveman of caveman coaches this team has ever had? I can't wait for the answer. I know I'm going to get the answers, and I'll get a bunch of them. I'll wait to show them until after I get 3 or 4 of them, because I know who's the most. If you want to look at a caveman coach, who's the most caveman coach that this team ever had? Caveman coach is the that type, right? Everything my way. I'm man, you woman, you do what I say. I'm coach, you player, you do what I say. Yeah, a bad impression there. But that's And I'm seeing the answers, right? I think 2 of you were right. Keenan 2.0. Keenan. I think Keenan had Hitchcock beat. I really do. Keenan was the most caveman coach we ever had, and he drove players away. Fire it. Fire it. The little general, yeah. Fire away, Katrina. God, it's so good to have you back on the show. Let me say this, and this is personal. Some things got only because family knew him personally, and that might, but maybe his personality was that, but on the ice he wasn't. On the ice he wasn't. I am very happy to see you back on the show, and I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get into why. I'll leave it at that. I'm very, very happy to see you back with the show. Right? Yep. But Hitch also understood offensive players are going to be offensive. Right? Hitch made Hall a better player, but he also allowed Hall to play offensively. There's the difference. Yeah. Anytime. Katrina, fire away. I don't know if you still have my phone number, but you can hit me up in Messenger. And if that doesn't work, we'll figure it out. I think Hitch did more with less than any recent coach. Quite possibly. I mean, he came in with less. I agree with that. No issues, Katrina. No issues. I appreciate it. I really do. Um, uh, sorry. Let me breathe for a second. Wow, man, what a great show tonight. What a great effing show tonight. Thank you. Um, Kyrou is everyone who sits there. One of the things you keep hearing: no effort from Kyrou. No effort from Kyrou. Kyrou led the team in points last year. Your goal scorer, your leading goal scorer, your leading point getter doesn't give enough effort. Where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? Does that make sense? Have you ever heard the leading point getter being told he didn't have enough effort? I've only heard that one time. One other time I've heard that. I wonder if anybody else can remember a situation where the leading point getter or goal scorer was told that he didn't have enough effort. This will be a good one. I thank you. We've talked about it on the show a lot. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah, we should not have booed him. That was bad. That was all on Rutherford, and then Rutherford tries to fix it. Where's this emotion coming from? Holt's first year here. Da 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 da. Not Keenan. Not Keenan. Not Keenan. Who was it that told Hall that he should be scoring 80 goals, not 40? Somebody knows. Somebody knows. I'll wait for the answer on that. right? In fact, I had it on this show. I had somebody on this show tell us about that conversation. 2 people talk about that conversation. Suter. I know you spelled it wrong, but I know who you meant. Suter, absolutely. It was Brian Suter. Brian Suter set Brett Hull down in his office. Brett Hull came into his office after a 40-goal season thinking he was the shit, kicked his feet up on the desk, and Suter went off on him. You're too lazy. You're not playing hard enough. You should be scoring 70 or 80 goals in this league. And he came back and scored 76 or 86. Or I think he scored 72 and then he scored 86. Right? I think it was like 72, 80 or 74, 86, 72, something like that. Right? That's where it came from. Right? That's where it came from. And he should hold, Brett Hull should absolutely hold the record for most goals in a season by a lot. He should have about 96 goals or 97. Anybody know why Brett Hull doesn't have the record? There's a absolute straight up reason. I'm on the we should not have traded Tage Thompson. I'm on that boat. I thought we gave up too much for that. Right? I thought we gave up too much for that. I thought we gave up. Tage Thompson was the one piece of that trade I hated, and I'll admit that. And E, you are absolutely correct. He didn't score any empty net goals. He passed up on every empty net goal that season and gave it to somebody else. The year Gretzky got 92 goals or 93, whatever it was, he had 11 empty net goals. If Brett Hull scores the empty netters, if Brett Hull scores on empty netters, if he takes empty netters, he leads. And he just wouldn't do it. And that's quite possible. It's quite possible. And I've also said Tage would have never gotten on the top line here as quick as he did there. I've also said that. I recognize that. I recognize that. But I didn't like Thompson getting traded when he got traded, and I brought that up. I think in his career, he only had a few. Late in his career, he might have taken some empty netters. But for the most part, he did not shoot into them. Right? Since we're talking about Kyrou, does anyone think that the hate made him pick up his tempo? No, I don't. No, I don't. In fact, because he was already doing it before it. Right? That you look at that game before he was getting booed, he was playing good in that game. Berube coached the skill out of Kyrou, and everybody complained. Kyrou was a painter, and he's a damn good painter. He's a hell of a painter, and Berube tried to make him a framer, and he wasn't a good framer. Now he's told, go back to being a painter. We're going to get better framers so we can give you meet your demand as a painter. That's how I feel. Right? No, I have not seen it yet. I have not seen it. I'll have to look at it later. I have a hard time watching those sometimes because I've talked to a lot of those guys. No, he got set up by Rutherford. He absolutely got set up by Rutherford. There's no ands, ifs, or buts by it. And you know what? Fans just wanted somebody on ice to blame. because you can't boo Doug Armstrong because they're not going to show Doug Armstrong's picture all the time. They just use that statement. They just use that setup as someone to point their anger at, and it went away very quick. In fact, they did it with Tarasenko. Oh my God, did they do it with Tarasenko? Remember the Tarasenko wants to be traded thing Rutherford put out there, and then everybody was like, "Oh my God, they're going to boo Tarasenko. They're going to boo Tarasenko." First game he comes out, and they cheered the living crap out of him. They knew better. They're going to support him now more than anything else. That might be a true point. I have to look a little better. No, we cannot get Rutherford fired. Well, the only way we could is if a whole bunch of people that follow the Athletics canceled their contracts, canceled their things. But the thing is, when you cancel, you just don't renew. It doesn't renew. You can't get your money back. And most people buy by the year because it's cheaper. Yeah. I think is more of a relaxing a bit. I'm not sure what you mean there, bud. Right? I mean, it's simply going to come down to this. What is Bannister going to do with what he's got? And can he win with them? I think he can. In fact, I think any coach that came in with this and understood what the problem was is going to win. Oh, to Katrina. Okay. Get you now. When it comes down to it, right? Berube had a year. A year. This is what everybody forgets. Berube had a year to fix this and didn't. He absolutely showed he didn't. I'm going to piss you off now. How many Moneyball fans I got out there? Oh, now I got Richard back. I got, wow, what a show. Get Richard. Woo-hoo! Wow. Richard and Katrina, same show. I'm woohoo. Right? Will do what an in-court should, like you said, take what he has and create gold, or try to. It's partial, but what I think Bannister understands the problem, and like Moneyball, right? What's the problem? The problem is no, that's not the problem. What's the problem? The problem is no. Everybody asked what's the problem, and Berube said it's our defense. No, that's not the problem. Well, we got to get better on the defense. Our defense has no. That's not the problem. Oh, you're fine, bud. You're fine, man. I appreciate you anytime you can show up. That's what's so important. Berube never understood what the problem was, and the problem is, you're not using your players in the best manner. Your system's not working. Fix it. Put something. Thomas said last year, we're tired of the message. It's not working. Yeah, I know. Because what did Berube do every time Kyrou did something good? He's not good enough on defense. His defense has to be better. He scored 5 goals, but he gave up that puck in the neutral zone when he shouldn't have. And he's got to get better at not giving up that puck in the neutral zone. That's what what do you hold on to? The last thing you hear. The last thing you hear is how his defense wasn't good enough. Not about his offense. They're partially hung up. He got a pass. Don't get me wrong. He got a pass. Because he should have been fired last year during the first 8-game losing streak. And then when we had a 7-game losing streak, our 6-game losing streak after a 7-game winning streak. There were more than enough times to get rid of him, and they didn't. They gave him the rope. He had rope this year. Sundqvist. Hayes not being used properly. Here's a defensive forward. Use him. I don't like him. Give me Sundqvist. Okay, here's Sundqvist. Use Hayes right. Nope, he doesn't play good enough defense. Kyrou, play better defense. Thomas, play better defense. Not everybody's a 200-foot player. Not everybody's a Ryan O'Reilly. Right? Brett Hull was not a Ryan O'Reilly. Even when he tried to be a 200-foot guy, he wasn't very good at it. Where's Brett Hull at today? He's what, fifth? Fifth in overall goals? Second in goals in the season? Well, third if you count the Gretzky did, I think, has one other like 80 plus. He might be he's either first or second. Second or third. Right? And then I just lost my place. Right? And he's a Hall of Famer. He wasn't a two-way player, but he's in the Hall of Fame. Would Brett Hull thrive under Berube's system? The answer is plain and simple, no. Brian Suter was a defensive guy who understood that offense wins games and told Brett Hull, you're not scoring enough. You're not playing enough defense. Go read Blues Fire. I have it somewhere. Hell of a book. I've learned a lot from that book. Right? No, teams haven't tried. That's the thing. No one's tried to copy Berube's system. We caught lightning in a bottle, and it could have been more if there would have been an understanding about people skills. And there wasn't. Berube didn't understand his players and what they needed and just understood what he needed and coached that way. And if you don't see that, you're seeing the forest and missing the trees. Because you can attribute the majority of the players that are not here to Berube more than you can to Armstrong. Yeah, it did. It did. That's true. Yes and no. I mean, that's been around for a long time. Right? Wow, an hour and that 30 minutes? Hour and 30 minutes. Almost 31. Wow. I went the whole hour and a half, guys. Can you believe this? Wow, Katrina, you brought a smile to my face. Richard, you brought a smile to my face. Robert Murray, you brought a smile to my face. Jason Nichols, Iguido, Chris Shockey, you all brought a smile to my face. Who am I missing? I think those are Stephen Glass. You all brought a smile to my face today. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. I want to thank you. You know what? I've been saying it for a while, Robert. Are you new to the show? Is this like new? Or have you been here before you go? You're welcome, Katrina. You are absolutely welcome. Well, guys, what a show, man. What a show. Hopefully Robert will watch more. Join us for the game show tomorrow. Maybe once. Okay. So welcome, man, and join us tomorrow during the game. We give you a chance to voice your opinion during the game. I stay on a half hour before the game, and I stay on all the way through. Tell your friends about it. Tell your friends that they might learn something if they listen to me, no matter what. Right? Absolutely. Watch tomorrow, Robert. Thank you, Katrina. Guys, I love all of you. Thank you for tonight. I mean this. I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. Tammy, Frankie, Erickson, Krieger. Thank you. I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, each and every one of you. I needed your love and support tonight. Without saying it, you gave it to me. Without me asking for it, you gave it to me. Right? And I greatly, greatly appreciate that you did that tonight. And you let me know that I'm okay. So thank you. I love each and every one of you. And Chase, happy birthday, buddy.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Who are you, Blues fan? We're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues! Let's go Blues!
Let's go Blues, and I'll see you tomorrow night / afternoon my time as the Blues take on the Tampa Bay Lightning in Tampa Bay, Florida at Amelia Arena. Aloha.